people united cannot be defeated. And the tremendous people power that was put into this bill down in Springfield and all over Illinois to get the support necessary through the legislature. It's on the desk today. We'll sign it into law in a minute or two. It really is a testament to democracy, the power of everyday people to make a difference. And we heard earlier the importance of eliminating poverty. Okay, that's something all of us can get ourselves committed to. And I read a book in the Bible not too long ago in the Old Testament, and it's the book of Amos. And it's I commend it to everybody here. It's 8 pages long. Okay, you can read that. Doesn't take a long time. And Amos was a working man a long time ago. He took care of sycamore trees. And he said in that book of Amos, 8 pages long, woe to those who afflict the poor. Woe to those who afflict the poor. And that's how we feel in Illinois. We don't want poor people stepped upon and taken advantage. We want to lift them up. We want folks to get into that middle class and stay in the middle class. That's what America's all about. That's what Illinois is all about. And that's why we have to have good laws that the people put together in order to protect people from anything that wouldn't be fair. And that's exactly what this law is. Payroll cards can be helpful if they're done right. Employers save money, there's no question about it. They don't have to cut a check. That can save that employer some money. But when that employee gets a payroll card, doesn't have to pay to go to a currency exchange or anything like that, that's a good thing. But we don't want unfair or artificial fees to be attached to those payroll cards. We don't want to have policies that aren't fair. So it's real important that we had to put into the law of our state of Illinois specific regulations and rules that protect the workers. Some workers may say, I'd rather get a paper check. So they have that opportunity. It's a voluntary situation. If that's what they want, that's what they'll get. We don't want anybody taking advantage of someone else, especially people who are workers. You know, we've said a long time, every time I get a chance, if you're breathing, we want you working in Illinois. And we want to make sure our workers get a decent pay for their decent work. And that's why we believe in raising up the minimum wage. We're going to be doing that in Illinois. So, but once you get that wage, you want to make sure that that money comes into the pockets of our families so that they can support their family. They can support local merchants in the community. And I want to say something today about Walgreens. I'm a Walgreens customer, and I've been a Walgreens customer since, I think, birth. Okay? This company began in Illinois in 1901. Wow. 1901. Were you there then? No, not yet. You'll be there in 2101, though, I bet you that. And it's important that when an Illinois company that's headquartered in our state made a big decision, and a very important decision. They turned down the idea of moving overseas. That wouldn't help our country or our state. Walgreens, their board of directors, decided to stay right here in Illinois. We want to thank them for that. And I'm going to Walgreens later today. I got things to buy, okay? And we want to make sure all of our employers, whether it's a big company or whether it's a small company, if they want to have payroll cards for their workers, they do it right.
We learned about them a little over a year ago when we started to have employees come to our office complaining about the fact that even though they were never asked, instead of getting their paycheck, they were suddenly receiving a card. And they didn't know what these cards were. They didn't know how they even worked. And so we ended up doing a significant investigation where we found, first and foremost, it is among the lowest paid employees in our state that were receiving their wages on payroll cards. So a lot of people who are working at fast food restaurants, a lot of people who are working in retail, a lot of people who are only earning minimum wage. And then when we looked, we learned that the fees on these payroll cards were both excessive as well as unfair. We were finding situations where just to use your payroll card, it was costing you 50 cents. So imagine having a prepaid debit card, imagine having your credit card, and every time you used it, they charged you 50 cents. Does that sound fair?
No.
It does not. So we found transaction fees. We found declined transaction fees, 25 cents if you didn't have enough money when you used the card. I don't know about you, but has anyone ever checked the amount of money they have on the gift card? No. We found fees if you didn't use your card, so inactivity fees, fees that we had banned years ago actually on gift cards. Fees if you actually wanted a transaction history for the past month. Fees when you simply went to withdraw your wages. And needless to say, all of these fees added up, and they diminished people's wages.
Right.
And what the most significant aspect of this bill is the fact you shouldn't have to pay to get your pay.
Right.
We also heard about people who were traveling very long distances. One of the first stories we heard was a woman down in Effingham, downstate Illinois. One night they received their pay on payroll cards, and the nearest ATM where she could get her payout was 30 miles away. Wow. So people having to travel excessive distances, people who had never heard about any of these fees, and were losing a lot of money. So I directed the good lawyers in my office to draft a bill and to go to the legislature and to negotiate. And again, we had strong support from the advocates in this room, and we put together a bill that will ban overdraft fees. It will ban transaction fees. It will severely limit inactivity fees and decline transaction fees. It ensures that employees can access their account balances without fees and obtain transaction histories without fees as well. What do you think of that, Emiliano? And as the governor said, one of the significant things that this law will do is it will ensure that employees have a choice here in Illinois. Payroll cards cannot be imposed on you. You still have the right to have your pay on a check, or you have the right to have it direct deposit, or you can choose, once you've received disclosures and consented, to have your wages paid to you on a payroll card. So we see the potential benefits, particularly for those people who are unbanked, but it was not a benefit if you were unbanked and you were having to pay excessive and unfair fees as part of the condition of receiving your wages. So once the governor signs this bill and it becomes law, we will have the strongest law on payroll cards in the country. So let me say thank you to some of the people who are here who did a lot of the hard work to make this happen. The legislators in particular, Senator Harman is with us. We had strong support from President Cullerton and Senator Raoul, Representative Turner, Representative Flowers. And believe it or not, we need to clap for them because really this actually was an uphill battle. You wouldn't think it should be, but it was. I also want to acknowledge from my staff, Jane Flanagan, Eric Jones, Caitlin Grau, Art Mitchell, Mary Morrissey, our consumer lawyers, and a really big thank you to somebody who I think might even be speaking next, the director of the Illinois Department of Labor, Joe Costigan. So I am very proud that here in Illinois, once this goes into effect, people won't have to pay to get their pay. People will actually get the wages that they have already earned, and so we're very proud of that. Thank you very much.